Hare Krishna, Maharaj.
Harivam.
Thank you for reminding us very important instructions always. It's very relevant all the time.
It's what?
Very relevant.
Krishna's instructions are always relevant. Yeah.
And
that's why he's preaching to us. So who are you listening to? Who are you surrendered to? Who's the source of your plans?
That's why I need to ask, because I cannot say it's...
Who are you going to ask? Are you asking Krishna or are you asking Maya?
Asking Krishna, but I also need more clear instruction, clear confirmation of what I should do.
You have to convince Krishna. Krishna's the witness, Krishna's the judge. We can say anything from our mouth. Oh yes, I want to know what Krishna wants me to do. Okay, if that's true, and we're prepared to hear it, we're prepared to try our best to execute it, then Krishna will be the judge of that. Then Krishna will tell us. So when I ask the devotee, well, what is Krishna telling you? If you're so sincere, and you're so surrendered, and you're willing to do anything for Krishna, so what is Krishna telling you? And then they're like, whoa, well, I don't know what Krishna's telling me. Well, if you're so sincere and serious, and you want to fully surrender to Krishna, why Krishna's not telling you? You're thinking you're meeting all the pre-requirements. You believe that. If that's true, why Krishna is not convincing you? 100% sure. Why is it not crystal clear? Why don't we have unflinching faith and conviction on the soul platform? If we're so sincere and surrendered and qualified, and there's a disconnect. So whose problem is that? Is it Krishna? Is it Guru? Is it the process of bhakti? You don't have to convince me. I'm not your judge. Nobody is anyone else's judge of your sincerity, your seriousness, your desire to surrender. That's not our business. Adam thinks it's his business to analyze that, but generally, that's not our business. So I always say, only two people have to be convinced. Ourselves and Krishna. If we are not really convinced, we will not be able to convince Krishna. So if Krishna is not telling us, and He's not reciprocating, and He's not giving us that firm faith and conviction on soul platform, maybe, perhaps, we're not so special after all. Maybe we haven't met the precondition or the prerequisite that we think we deserve. In our estimation, although we're blind because of pride, and the false ego means so much ignorance is there, but still we think, no, I'm intelligent, I can see, I can understand, I can analyze, I can measure. If that's true, then why the result doesn't match our impression of our self or our position? It's an interesting question, isn't it? Shouldn't we be asking that question? Are we not supposed to be thoughtful people? Should we just assume that it's all going on? Because you joined a religious institution, and then once you join, then they say, okay, You signed the oath of allegiance to the GBC. Now you're a bona fide card-carrying member. Now you're spiritual. Now you're spiritual. And whatever you think, and whatever you do, and whatever seva you do, you're a pure devotee. Krishna is definitely accepting it. And it's all spiritual. And there's nothing left to measure or calculate. No introspection is required. No thoughtfulness is there. This is foolishness. This sentimentality. It's actually based on a misconception. Because we don't know any better. Until we hear it from Krishna and from Krishna's representative. Because they understand the subtlety of it. By their intelligence and by their experience. So you don't have to convince me. You have to convince Krishna. And if we convince Krishna, then Krishna will tell us. He already says that. Those who are sincere and serious and want to surrender and serve me in devotional service, I will give you intelligence and direction as to what to do, how to do. Do you have an appointment today? Do you have any other thing you have to do? Are you busy? I'll save this one for tomorrow. Then maybe you'll come back, you'll be like, wow, what else was he going to say? I just put it out there and you're like, and then I took it back. So did you get your everything figured out?
I have to convince Krishna, but
What's difficult about that? In other words, if you're sincere and serious and you want to fully surrender, then why Krishna not telling you? How do you answer that question? You think you're sincere, and I'm not the judge of your sincerity, but you think you're sincere, you think you're surrendered, you think you're nicely situated, more or less, right? So why Krishna not telling you? Why Krishna not reciprocating with you? Why Krishna not revealing himself to you, inside or outside? Why is that? Whose fault is that?
I think Krishna is guiding me to understand some of my problems, but I don't know how.
He what? He doesn't understand your problems?
He's showing me, reminding me.
He's showing you.
Clearly.
The only problem we have, Prabhupada said, is you're not serious and sincere about surrendering to Krishna. That's the only problem we really have. Now, what is causing that is material desires, material attachments, mental speculation, addicted to mental speculation, false ego, many factors why. But the bottom line is, when we're not convinced, we don't have sufficient faith, and we're not convincing Krishna. That's the problem, ultimately. well, if I can just understand, the psychophysical nature of my upbringing and what I maybe was in the last life, and how did I get here from there? Let me retrace, where did I go wrong? That's where the lamentation always comes in, right? Why did I make that decision? Why did I do like this? How could I be so stupid? Then it's like, it's like painful. And Prabhupada says, everyone in material consciousness, they're just always lamenting, morose, worrying about the past and why this happened and why did I do like this and how could I be so stupid and I had it and I lost it. I wanted it, I never got it. My plans never turned out the way I wanted. Why is it like this? Why is other people able to, fulfill their plans and desires? Why I'm not able to do it? I'm a nice person. I never hurt anybody. It's unfair. I'm a victim. Whose fault is this in my life? We're wasting way too much time psychoanalyzing in illusion. A bad dream. It has no basis in reality. Why we're wasting, burning so much energy on that which we cannot control. That's another type of foolishness. Prabhupada said those who are in the tamagun, or like Shudra, they're always lamenting, self-pity and lamentation. This means a very low consciousness. It's not a good use of our energy, our thoughts, our intelligence to plan how to get out of it. It's like you're in a hellish situation and you're just lamenting how you got in there instead of figuring how you're going to get out of there. Right? Like you're lost in a cave or a forest or something, and then you're like, how did I end up getting lost? And why am I in this cave? And why am I in this forest? And this is just unbelievable situation I find myself in. How could I be so stupid, so foolish? Right? We should be thinking, okay, how do I get out of this mess? Isn't that a better use of energy and intelligence and thoughtfulness? Okay, whatever it is, definitely I made a blunder, repeated blunders. Okay, now this is the reality of the situation. This is what I've created for myself. This is what I'm getting because I deserved it. Now how do I make the best use of the bad bargain? How do you turn it around? Learn from it and chart a new plan, a new course. What do you think, Peter? Is that all right?